Welcome to the Skill Sprints 2025 session on the fundamentals of quality assurance. I am Hirushi Silva and I will be your guide for today's session. Let's take a quick look at the agenda for this session. We'll cover an introduction to myself and Emojot, the introduction to quality assurance, the fundamentals of the test process, an introduction to ISTQB and SLSTB. Finally, Q&A session and a test. Now let me introduce myself. I am Hirushi Chameesha Silva, currently working as a QA lead engineer at Emojot. I have over 8 years of experience in the QA industry, working on both manual and automation testing. In terms of education, I hold a BSc Honours in Software Engineering from the University of the West of England. Additionally, I am an ISTQB Foundation Level Certified Tester, which has helped me strengthen my expertise in software testing best practices. So I'm excited to share my knowledge and experience with you today. Before we dive into QA, let me give you a brief overview of Emojot. Emojot is a leading AI-powered platform designed to help businesses stay customer-centric. Our solutions are widely adopted across industries such as hospitality, healthcare, manufacturing, and more. Emojot offers a suite of powerful solutions to boost customer engagement and operational efficiency. These include customer experience management, online reputation management, social listening and tracking, workflow management, and customer complaint management. Together, these solutions enable businesses to enhance customer satisfaction, safeguard brand reputation, monitor trends, improve workflows, and efficiently resolve issues, delivering a seamless customer experience. So that's about Emojot. Let's begin the session. Introduction to quality assurance. QA or quality assurance is a process that makes sure a product or service is good and meets the required standards. Instead of just fixing mistakes after they happen, QA helps prevent them from happening in the first place. In software development, QA is important because it helps create reliable and high-quality software. It involves following the right steps, using good testing methods, and making sure everything works well from start to finish. Now let's look at the difference between quality assurance and quality control. Quality assurance focuses on preventing defects from occurring in the first place. It involves the planning, designing, and improvement of processes and workflows to ensure that quality standards are met throughout the development lifecycle. QA aims to establish best practices and standards, train teams, and continuously improve processes to avoid issues before they happen. For an example, conducting risk analysis, creating a test strategy, and defining standards for coding and documentation to reduce errors early on. So that's about quality assurance. Quality control, on the other hand, is about focusing on detecting and fixing defects after the product has been developed. It involves the inspection, testing, and review of the final product to identify any issues or defects that may have slipped through during development. For an example, running tests, either manual or automated, on the product to identify and correct bugs. The key differences between quality assurance and quality control: quality assurance is proactive, working to prevent issues, while quality control is reactive, finding and fixing defects after they occur. Importance of quality assurance. So why is QA important? Here are some key reasons. The first one is ensures product quality and meet customer expectations. QA makes sure the product works properly and meets what the customer wants. So it's high quality and satisfying. The next one is reduces cost by catching defects early. So how QA reduce costs? QA helps reduce costs by finding defects early in the software development lifecycle. The earlier defects are caught, it's cheaper to fix them. By reviewing requirements and ensuring quality early on, QA saves time, money that would be spent fixing bigger issues later. The next one is improves customer satisfaction and brand reputation. When product is of high quality, it leads to happier customers. This is not only enhance their satisfaction, but also contributes to build a stronger brand reputation. Minimizes risk related to functionality, security, and performance, and ensures compliance with industry standards. So QA reduces risk related how the product works, its security and performance, and also it makes sure the product follows industry rules and standards. In short, QA is crucial because it saves time, money, and ensures the product works well for the customers. Now let's dive into the fundamentals of the test process. This process involves several key stages to ensure quality standards are met. The stages include requirement analysis, test planning, test design, test environment setup, test execution, defect reporting and tracking, and test closure. We will go through each of these stages in detail. The first step in the test process is requirement analysis. This involves understanding and analyzing the software requirements and identifying testable components. So what is this testable components? Testable components are parts of software that can be checked to make sure they work properly. This includes features like login, user interface elements like buttons and forms, and also APIs that connect different systems, databases that store manage data, security features, performance like how fast software works, and also error handling to see how the system responds to mistakes. In short, any part of the software that can be tested to ensure it works correctly is a testable component. Let's see what are the requirement analysis key activities. The first one is collaborate with stakeholders. This means working closely with people involved in the project like developers, project managers, and clients to understand their needs and expectations. Then identify testable requirements and acceptance criteria. Testable requirements involve identifying aspects of the software that can be verified, while acceptance criteria specify the conditions under which those aspects are considered correct or complete. So in each stages in test process, you can use different kind of tools. Selection of these tools depend on the business needs, project requirements, and the available budget. So you can see I have mentioned some of the tools here. You can choose whatever the tool that is relevant to your project. Let's move into the next stage. Here we have test planning. This is where we define the test strategy, test scope, tools, and resources. The first one is develop the test plan. This is where we create a detailed plan that outlines what we are going to test, how we will test, and what resources we need. Allocate resources and schedule. We figure out who will do the testing, what tools we need, and when each part of the testing will be completed. Identify risks and mitigation strategies. We look for potential issues that could arise during testing, like delays or resource shortages, and come up with ways to minimize these risks. Here also you can see multiple tools I have mentioned. The next stage is test design. This is where we create test cases, scripts, and data. Break down requirements into test scenarios. We take the project requirements and turn them into test scenarios which describe what needs to be tested. What is test scenario? A test scenario is a general description of what you need to test in the software. It focuses on the main actions or features. For an example, let's think you have to verify a login page of a website. You can take one test scenario as verify user login with valid credentials. This scenario helps create detailed test case like checking if the username and passwords are entered correctly and if the login works as expected. Write detailed test cases. Once we understand the test scenarios, we can write test cases. What is test cases? Test cases are detailed instructions for testing a specific feature in software. A test case typically includes the following elements. It should include test case ID, test case title, preconditions, steps, test data, expected result, actual result, status, and post condition. So you can use any kind of tools to create test cases. Preparing test data and review for coverage. We gather or create the specific data required for testing, such as user information, inputs, or other relevant data that the software will process. We ensure that the test cases we have created cover all the important areas of the software. So let's move into the next stage. Before we execute tests, we need to set up the test environment. Setting up and configuring the test environment. This involves setting up the hardware, software, and tools needed for testing, like installing the required software or setting up test servers. Validating environment stability. Once the environment is set up, we make sure everything is stable and ready to run tests without any issues, ensuring no disruptions during testing. Here also you can see multiple tools I have mentioned. The next stage is test execution. This is the stage where we actually run the test cases to see if the software works as expected. This includes key activities like executing test cases, manual or automated. We run the test cases either manually, by following the steps ourselves, or using automated tools. We use automated tools to speed up the process. The next one is performing regression and retesting. After running initial tests, we do regression testing. So what is this regression testing? Regression testing is to ensure new changes haven't broken anything that was working before. So retesting is like we check if previously fixed issues are resolved. Here also you can see multiple tools I have mentioned. The Selenium and Cypress is used for automation testing. The next one is defect reporting and tracking. This is all about finding problems in the software, recording them, and making sure they get fixed. Log defects with details. When we find a problem, we document it with important details like how to reproduce the issue, include steps, mention the environment, add screenshots, and also mention the severity and priority. So what is severity and priority? Severity refers how much a defect impacts the functionality of the system. It means the seriousness or impact of the defect on the software. The priority means how urgent it is to fix the defect from a business perspective. It considers how quickly the defect needs to be addressed based on project timelines, customer requirements, or business needs. For the severity and priority, there are multiple levels. For severity, it has the levels like critical, major, moderate, and low. For the priority, it has high priority, medium priority, and low priority. For an example, for a high priority and low severity issue, there could be a misalignment of a logo of a homepage of an e-commerce website. I have mentioned it's a low severity issue because it doesn't affect the functionality of the website or cause any issues for users. But I have mentioned it's a high priority issue because this issue needs to be fixed quickly because it's impacting the company's brand image. So that's the basic idea of priority and severity. Once we have reported these issues, we have to assign that defect to the relevant person. So we can assign that ticket to the relevant developer who can fix it. Tracking the defect status. We keep track of the defect status, like whether it's still open, being worked on, fixed, or closed. Verify fixes through retesting. Once the defect is fixed, developer push it into the staging environment, and then QA person can verify it on the staging, and they can pass the ticket or fail the ticket. So verifying this ticket, we call this retesting. So that's how we do the defect reporting and tracking. So we can use these kind of tools that I have mentioned here. At Emojot, we use Jira. Let's move into the next stage, which is the test closure. This is where we evaluate the results, document findings, and improve processes. The key activities are like analyze test metrics. Here we review KPIs to assess testing effectiveness. Prepare test summary reports. We prepare summarized testing activities, results, and defects. Discuss success, challenges, and improvements. So using this information, we can improve ourselves and the processes for the next project. Archive artifacts. So we store test documentation for further references. So that's all for the test process. Let's talk about ISTQB. ISTQB is International Software Testing Qualifications Board. So it's a global organization that certifies software testing professionals aiming to standardize and validate testing skills. There are some importance of ISTQB certification. It's recognized in over 130 countries, and also it helps career advancement by validating your skills. Many companies prefer hiring ISTQB certified testers, and also it's a common language for testing across teams. And also it ensures that professionals follow industry best practices. Let's go to the website. So here you can see the certifications that ISTQB offering. It has 4 main categories like co-foundation, co-advanced, specialist, and expert level. So you can see all the examinations which are coming under each category. So I will go through the first category, co-foundation, the first exam that you can face. So here you can see overview of the exam and the audience And this is the content that you guys have to learn if you are going to face this foundation level examination. Here you can see exam structure, like you have to answer 40 questions and the passing score is 26 and the exam length is 60 minutes. If English is not your native language, you will get another 15 minutes. So you can see more information here, and also you can download the syllabus, and also they have given sample exams and also structure, rules and general files. So that's about ISTQB examination. You can go through this website and find all the details that you have to find. So let's move into this SLSTB introduction. What is SLSTB? SLSTB is Sri Lanka Software Testing Board. It's a non-profit organization in Sri Lanka focused on advancing the software testing professions. It is the official member board for ISTQB certification in Sri Lanka, responsible for managing software testing certifications within Sri Lanka. If you need to take ISTQB exam in Sri Lanka, you have to coordinate with SLSTB. So let's look at their official website. So this is their official website. So you can see exam details here. And also here you can see the current exams that SLSTB are offering. There are three main sections like foundation, advanced, and specialist. And also you can see what are the things that you should have these exams. In the foundation level, you should have to pay this kind of amount, and you, as documentation, you should have an IC or a passport. To achieve these advanced level and specialist level exams, you should have a foundation level exam. And also you should have passed the foundation level exam, and you have to give the copy of the ISTQB foundation level certification to do the other group 2 or group 3 examinations. So you can see all the details which are relevant to exams like dates and exam modes and all the details here. And also you can subscribe to their site, and then they will send you all the details to a mail. Now let's move into the final part of the session. Let's move into the Q&A and a test. You can scan a QR code to ask a question and take part in the test. I will respond to your questions via email. And also, there's a small test you can participate. So that's all for today's session. I hope you find this helpful and informative. Good luck on your QA journey. Thank you.